Bruce Spencer on percussion.
Are there? Now feel free to clap along. Come on now.
Peter was preaching the gospel.
Yeah.
He was standing with 11 men. I'll show you wonders in heaven, son. If you only want to come in, well, I'm on a run. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run to the city of refuge. I'm on a run. I'm on a run. I'm on a run to the city of refuge, where the Holy Ghost is a mystery. Paul said it all in the land of, while struggling hard with the master, trying to stay in Jesus' hand. Well, I'm on a run. I'm on a run. I'm gonna run to the city of refuge. I'm on a run. I'm on a run. I'm gonna run to the city of refuge. Well, around that communion table, when Judas was about to leave, well, the apostles prayed down in their heart. Now the Holy Ghost will set him free. Well, I'm on a run. Yeah, I'm on a run. I'm gonna run to the city of refuge. I'm on a run. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run to the city of refuge. Woo! Woo!
Tell us about it, Bruce.
Well, the angels of heaven are God and the good, as God has ordained them to do. In answers to prayers that I offer to Him, I know there's one waiting for you. You're a prayer, Michael. Now go where you will, upon land or on sea, and I'll share all your sorrows and care. At night as I kneel by my bedside to pray, I remember you, love, in my prayer.
Well, the 12th chapter Revelation come along with the 13th verse. The war broke out in heaven, dragon jaws in the depth of hell. Well, you stand before your maker with your robes all covered in mud, while you kneel at the feet of the woman in the street where the gutters run in blood. I'm on a run. I'm on a run. I'm on a run to the city of refuge. I'm on a run. I'm on a run. I'm on a run to the city of refuge. I'm on a run. I'm on a run. I'm on a run to the city of refuge. I'm on a run. I'm on a run. I'm on a run to the city of refuge. Woo!
Well, it's been a long time since I've done like a concert here. I know you've played here in a concert maybe more
Several.
recently.
Yeah, no, it's been
I
a
did
few
worship here in 2005 for about a year, but I don't know that you were playing then. But 77's last played here 31 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's the last time I actually did except for playing Sunday morning. How many people were here when I played Sunday morning a few weeks ago? Yes, I see that hand. You may put that down. We're just going to wait. Anybody else? Anybody? God bless you. Any other hands? Yeah, well, so anyway, it's great to be here. We're going to do a song that I recently discovered. I can't remember the guy who sang it. It's called Don't Let the Devil Ride. Don't let the devil ride. Oh, don't let the devil ride. 'Cause if you let him ride, then he's gonna want to drive. Don't let him ride. Oh, don't let him flag you down. Oh, don't let him flag you down. 'Cause if you flag him down, he will turn your soul around. Don't let him ride. Yeah. Let him call your name. Oh, don't let him call your name. 'Cause if you let him call your name, you're the moth and he's the flame. Don't let him ride. Yeah, don't let him ride with you. Oh, don't let him ride with you. 'Cause if you let him ride with you, he will tell you what to do. Don't let him ride. Thanks. All right, we're going to do a real old song now.
That good?
Yeah. Some of you older people might remember this from a Rolling Stones album called Beggars Banquet. It's a story of the prodigal son. Well, poor boy, whose father's bread started down the road, took all he had and started down the road, going out in this world where God only knows, and that'll be the way to get along. Well, poor boy spent all his had, famine come in the land, spent all he had and famine come in the land. Said, believe I'll go and hire me to some man, and that'll be the way to get along. Well, the man said, give you a job, for to feed my swine, for to feed my swine. Give you a job for to feed my swine. Boy stood there and hung his head and cried, 'cause that's no way to get along. Well, believe I ride, believe I go back home, believe I go back home. Said, believe I ride, believe I go back home. Been down this road as far as I can go, and that would be the way to get along. Well, father said, see my son coming home to me, coming home to me. Father ran, fell down on his knees, said, singing praise, the Lord have mercy on me. Mercy. Well, the poor boy, he stood there, hung his head and cried, hung his head and cried. Poor boy stood there and hung his head and cried. Said, Father, won't you look on me as a child? Yeah. Well, the father said, Ella's son, kill the fatted calf, call the family around. Kill that calf, call the family round. My son was lost, but now he is found. 'Cause that's the way to get along. Hey!
I like that one.
Yes, thank you. Well, a hymn show wouldn't be complete without some white Southern gospel. This is the stuff I grew up with in the Pentecostal church, Assemblies of God. Maybe some of you, did any of you grow up in that sort of environment? Anybody? God bless you. You may put that hand. Yes, God bless her. I see anyone else? We're just going to wait. Anybody? Yes, God bless you. It was quite a way to grow up, and I'm grateful for it for a lot of reasons, but mainly because we had some really wonderful songs. I don't know, is Lewis here tonight? Yes, God bless Lewis. Let's hear it for Pastor Lewis. I know he knows these tunes. On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross, where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. Oh, that old rugged cross, so despised by the world, as a wondrous attraction to me. For the dear Lamb of God left his glory above to bear it to dark Calvary. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old
rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown.
Here's another one, comes from the same kind of place. Remember we all sang this at my grandmother's funeral. My grandparents used to sing this often in church, and they made a recording of it on one of those old recordio discs, you know, that back in the 40s, they had these little sort of machines looking concern that had a cutting needle, and you put an acetate disc on it with a microphone, and it would spin at 78 backwards, like from the inside to the outside of the record.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes it played the other way, but I have a recording of them singing this, so I always remember that as a kid, hearing
Now,
this.
You told me a story about Pat Boone, or back when guys would do the recordings when they would, you said they had to remake them every so often,
Oh,
right?
that was Bing Crosby.
Or Bing
That's-
Crosby. Okay, not Pat Boone.
That was
that's
White
good,
Christmas, yeah.
He wasn't that old. But yeah, remember
Yeah,
we were
but
talking
yes,
about that?
yeah, because, you know, White Christmas sold so many copies, they would break the master disc. You know, they didn't have tape then, so they have to go back in and re-record it. And he probably recorded it. That's why there's so many different versions.
There's just
of it.
dozens and dozens.
Yeah.
I love that.
Anyway, that's entirely irrelevant to what we're about
Well,
to do.
I thought it had
No,
something
I
to do with
know,
something.
no, I know. I mean, the history of recording is great. But anyway, let's do this one. It's called In the Garden. I come to the garden. Let's start that again. I wasn't quite right. The throat isn't right.
Yeah, you got to
get the
a
throat.
little more Elvis in it.
Well, I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and he walks with me and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks and the sound of his voice is so sweet, the birds hush their singing, and the melody that he gave to me within my heart is ringing, and he walks me and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known.
Thank you. Let's say, softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling for you and for me. See on the portals, he's waiting and watching, watching for you and for me. Come home, come home, ye who are weary, come home, earnestly, tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling, oh sinner, come home. Oh, for the wonderful love he has promised, promised for you and for me. Though we have sinned, he has mercy and pardon, pardon for you and for me. Come home, come home, ye who are weary, come home, earnestly, tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling, oh sinner, come. Calling, oh sinner, come home.
Man, let it go.
Now we're going to do one from an old friend. Some of you might remember Mylon Lefevre. I think he played here in like 1980, 81, and he showed up and his bus broke down with all his band members. All he had was his lead guitarist. So the 77s were called upon to back him up. And we did, and it was quite an experience. And then a couple of years later, he came through again on tour, and the same thing happened again. He shows up, just him and the guitar player, and he goes, I don't know what the Lord's doing, but he wants you guys to play with me again. So we did. I later found out that he wrote this wonderful hymn when he was about 17 years old. He was part of a gospel singing family called the Lefevres. And somehow he wrote this, and Elvis Presley heard it, being a big fan of gospel music, and he recorded it on his How Great Thou Art album, which got a Grammy. So I think it made Mylon a very rich young man by the time he was 18. And of course that wrecked his whole life, but that's a whole other story. But he's serving the Lord now, preaching in Atlanta, I think, and has a wonderful TV, radio ministry. And I still keep in touch with him from time to time. But anyway, we're going to do this song that he wrote that Elvis did and many people have recorded.
Without him, I could do nothing. Without him, I surely fail. Without him, I would be drifting like a ship without a sail. Jesus, oh Jesus, do you know him today? Please don't turn him away, oh Jesus, oh Jesus. Without him, how lost I would be. Without him, I would be dying. Without him, I'd be enslaved. Without him, life would be hopeless. But with Jesus, thank God, I'm saved. Jesus, oh Jesus, do you know him today? Please don't turn him away, oh Jesus, my Jesus. Without him, how lost I would be. Without him, how lost I would be. Okay. Yeah, lost a little bit. Just a little lost. Okay, we're going to do one. That was a wonderful little history lesson on the blues and gospel music and how those two sort of camps would interact. A lot of the blues singers were sometimes outcast from the gospel community and would play outside churches for tips while this service was going on. And but some of these guys really had some great messages. And back when they used to make moonshine and it was causing a lot of problems with church members drinking it, somebody decided to write a song called Drink and Shine, and it's a funny little tune, but it has a serious message that is still relevant today, unfortunately. So,
Feel free to clap along if you feel like it.
Here we go now. You say you done cut whiskey out, and so you have a little wine. But most everybody's getting on a drunk 'cause they must be drinking shine. God don't like it, I know. God don't like it, you know he don't like it. I know it's scandalous and a shame. Some folks get drunk every once in a while just to ease their so-called mind. And when they get caught in the trap, they want to put all the blame on shine. God don't like it, I know. Well, God don't like it, you know he don't like it. I know it's scandalous and a shame. Some men won't pay their honest debts and let their bills get far behind. Draw their money out every week and drink it all up in shine. God don't like it, I know he don't like it. You know he don't like it. You know it's scandal and a shame. Sometimes they get put in jail and have to pay the fine. Tomorrow they are drunk again, for they just can't stop that shine. God don't like it, I know he don't like it. You know I don't like it, I know it's a scandalous and a shame. this old world is going to be lost if we keep on like it's gwine. God's folk will hardly have a church if we keep on drinking that shine. Now, Christian, better watch your step and stop yourself from lying. For you sure can't walk them golden streets if you're all tanked up on shine. God don't like it. I know. You know he don't like it. You know he don't like it. I know it's a scandal and a shame. Soldier of the cross, make it up in your mind. Serve the Lord with all your might and stop that drinking that shine. God don't like it. I know. You know he don't like it. You know you don't like it. I know it's a scandal and a shame. That's ridiculous. Okay.
Oh
boy.
Here's another one of these.
Sister Rosetta goes before us, and Sister Rosetta Tharpe was a great gospel singer who really had a lot to do with the development of rock and roll. She was rock and roll before there was such a thing, and she has a tune here called "There Are Strange Things Happen Every Day." Oh, I hear church people say they are in this holy way. There's strange things happening every day. On that last great judgment day, when they drive them all away, there's strange things happening every day. Every day,
Every day,
oh, every day,
every day.
there's strange things happening every day. Every day,
Every day,
whoa, every day,
every day.
there's strange things happening every day.
Me.
Take it.
If you want to lose your crying, you must learn to quit your lying. There's strange things happening every day. If you hew right to the line,
Right to
you
that
can
line.
live right all the time.
All the time.
It's strange things happening every day. Every day,
Every day,
oh, every day.
every day,
There's strange things happening every day.
every day,
Every day,
every day.
oh, every day. There's strange things happening every day.
Jesus is the holy life,
Holy life,
turning darkness into light. There are strange things happening every day. He gave that blind man sight.
man,
The
sight
blind man praised him with all his might.
is mine.
There are strange things happening every day. Every day.
Oh, every day,
Whoa, every day.
every day,
There's strange things happening every day.
every day,
Every day.
every day.
Whoa, every day. Yeah, yeah. There's strange things happening every day. Might get it right one time.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Okay. This is a real old church song. We have a bass player named Mark Harmon who played with us for the last 30 years. And Some of you might remember Mark. He attended here back in the 80s, and he told me he's from the South. He's from Virginia, North Carolina, and the mountains. And he says that a lot of times he'd have these two black women would come. They were sort of elderly, and they'd show up at the church and come up there with these acoustic guitars and strum these kinds of songs. So I'm going to play one of them. It's called Everybody Ought to Pray Sometime. What's that theme? How does that theme go? Everybody ought to pray sometime, ought to fall down on their knees, crying, Lord, have mercy on me. Every liar ought to pray sometime, ought to fall down on their knees, saying, Lord, have mercy on me. Every gambler ought to pray sometime, ought to fall down on your knees, crying, Lord, have mercy on me. Every drunkard ought to pray sometime, ought to fall down on your knees, crying, Lord, have mercy on me. You backslider, you backslider ought to pray sometimes, ought to fall down on your knees, crying, Lord, have mercy on me. One more time.
Can't find them, grind them.
Can't find them.
All right.
Now we're going to do one by Skip James, who is a blues singer who wrote gospel songs, and a lot of blues singers wrote gospel songs and wrote some of the best gospel songs. Let Jesus lead you, let him lead you, let Jesus lead you all the way from earth to heaven. Let Jesus lead you all the way. He's a mighty good leader, mighty good leader. He's a mighty good leader all the way from earth to heaven. He's a mighty good leader all the way. He led my mother, he led my father, he led my sister all the way from earth to heaven.
Jesus lead you. Let him lead you. Let Jesus lead you all the way from earth to heaven. Let Jesus lead you all the way.
Blind Willie Johnson.
Praise God, I'm satisfied. For me, he bled and died. Well, I'm glad to know that he loved me so. For me, he was crucified. Lord, I'm satisfied. For me, he bled and died. Well, I'm glad to know that he loved me so. Praise God, I'm satisfied. Up on the mountain, dreary, God, I wandered sad and alone. Well, my Savior found me for to claim me for his own. He placed his arms around me and he dropped me to his side. All right, I might be a child of his. Praise God, I'm satisfied. Thank God, I'm satisfied. For me, he bled and died. Well, I'm glad to know that he loved me so. For me, he was crucified. Oh, God, I'm satisfied. For me, he bled and died. Well, I'm glad to know that he loved me so. Thank God, I'm satisfied. Well, he gave me joy and gladness. For the clouds he rolled away. While I'm left on earth here singing his praises, how glad I am today. Oh, such a need had sinners. God, he bowed his head and died. All right, now I know I'm a child of his. Praise God, I'm satisfied. Praise God, I'm satisfied. For me, he bled and died. Well, I'm glad to know that he loved me so. For me, he was crucified. Thank God, I'm satisfied. For me, he bled and died. Well, I'm glad to know that he loved me so. Praise God, I'm satisfied. Thank God, I'm satisfied. For me, he bled and died. Well, I'm glad to know that he loved me so. For me, he was crucified. Well, God, I'm satisfied. For me, he bled and died. Well, I'm glad to know that he loved me so. Praise God, I'm satisfied.
Never satisfied. A big
I'm
one.
never satisfied.
Oh,
Were you doing a cha-cha-cha?
I
Is that
don't
what
know
that
what
was?
I was trying to satisfy.
I know.
You know, I was satisfied with God, but not with that. That ending was a little bit unsatisfactory.
Well, we really appreciate you guys coming out.
Hey, Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes. It's been a long, hard year. I'm glad it's over. And
We're here.
We're here. We're alive. And we appreciate you spending just a short amount of time on this watch night service. I remember when I was a kid, they had those at our church, and I never wanted to go. You know, the watch night service just sounded like another excuse to have church. And since I was already going 3 or 4 times a week, you know, you didn't want to go on New Year's Eve. But we're going to have, now, here I am now. I'm 66 years old in church on New Year's Eve. I finally made it to church on New Year's Eve. Thank you for doing that also. Okay. We're going to have you see if you can remember this. I think this is kind of a common tune that you can sing along on the chorus. In the sweet by and by, there's a land that is fairer than the day, and by faith we can see it afar, for the Father waits over on the way to prepare us a dwelling place there. Sing it if you know it. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. We shall sing on that beautiful shore the melodious songs of the blessed, and our spirit shall sorrow no more. Not a sigh for the blessing of rest. Everybody. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. To our bountiful Father above, we will offer our tribute of praise, for the glorious gift of His love and the blessings that hallow our days. Here we go now. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. We shall meet on that beautiful shore. All right. What a great old tune. Well, I think it's time to head on back to the old corral.
All right. It's been a pleasure playing for you tonight. And old partner Mike's got a little song to sing.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to.
We don't have that prepared.
We don't
honestly.
have it.
No,
Oh, I
come
know.
on now.
It's
Well,
a cowboy
what did we
song.
do? We did the other one the other day. We did
Oh, we did Cool Water. Yeah.
we did Cool Water. That was great.
The nights are cool and I'm a fool
Ah.
without the taste of water. Cool water. Oh, Dan and I with throats burned dry carry on to water. Cool, clear water.
Hold on.
Oh man, we could go on all night if we start doing that.
Water.
Yes, that's an ad for
Everybody,
Water.
it's okay. You can take a drink. Does anybody have any water in here? Do they allow that? Or is it like the airport right now? I'm not sure what's going on.
Well, you can't have water at the airport?
Well, yeah, you haven't been able to have water at the airport for a long time.
Oh, come on. There's a drinking fountain over
No,
there.
There's dehydration at the airport. All right.
Well, I want to close with a song that we did many times here at the warehouse, starting all the way back, not just the location down the road here at 9844, but when it was on Bradshaw, where the slot car place is now.
Cross.
Do you remember that one? Is anybody here old enough to remember the warehouse, the big sort of one on the corner there where Caro's was? Anybody? Yes, Lewis, of course, knows. Mary knows. None of you? You were all too young to remember? Yes, there's one lady there. Now, those were the days. That's when I first started at the warehouse in 1979. I got there, and it was a really vibrant, ringy room. This is a ringy room, too, but that one really was like a shower, and it was great for, like, folk singers that would come through and sing. And when the choir, or we didn't have a choir, but when the congregation sang, the room worshiped with us. It was just so amazing to sing in that building. And it's nice to be in a reverberant room once again. But I remember playing this back then. Steve Scott taught us this song by Washington Phillips called Denomination Blues. It was written in the 1920s, back when all the denominations were fighting against each other. You know, they all had these different doctrines, and the African Methodists said you have to wash your feet to be saved, and, you know, the Baptists said, well, you can't speak in tongues, and the Pentecostals said, well, you need to speak in tongues, and they were all warring against each other. And Washington Phillips wrote this song as a commentary on that kind of thing. Of course, since that time, all of those congregations have swapped doctrines, and now they're all competing for the ones that they were defending before. And so we kind of cut out all the doctrinal verses and just got to the meat of the matter. Some people preach, and you know they do very well. They take all your money and you can go to hell, and that's all. That's all. But you could have Jesus. That's all. You can go to your college and you can go to your school. If you ain't got Jesus, you're just an educated fool, and that's all. That's all. You gotta have Jesus now. That's all. So if you pardon me, sir, you ain't doing too well. If you spend your whole life sinning, you're gonna wind up in hell, and that's all. That's all. But you could have Jesus right now. That's all. to stand together, it's bad to stand apart. The only ones going to heaven are the pure in heart, and that's all. That's all. You get that with Jesus now. That's all. Jesus is coming back on the D-riding day, taking the sheep and turning the goats away. That'll be all now. That'll be all now. You better take Jesus now, now. That's all. Tell you that's all now. I tell you that's all. Better take Jesus